Hello, everybody. We got some great news for you. Some good news tonight. We've been getting too much crazy news. We got to get some good news. Just want to also say, too, repping the jersey. Football season has started. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan. I'm out of Nashville, Tennessee. Let me know where you're from. And if you love football, let me know your favorite football team in the chat. So we've got Donald Trump and Elon Musk who have laid out a huge plan today to cut government spending. They also laid out that they wanted to cut regulations for housing and cut housing costs in half. Yes, you heard me right. A lot of people want a house. He's saying, look, we can cut regulations enough to cut the cost of a house in half. He said we can return more money back to the taxpayers and make the tax credits that he implemented in 2018 permanent. So more money in your pocket. Remember, Harris and Biden said that they were going to let those tax cuts expire at the end of this year. So that's really good news. We have Dan Bongino, who has revealed a leaked information about Putin and Russia collusion with the conservative host like Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, and Dave Rubin. We have Nate Silver, who is one of the most renowned pollsters out there, has just released his forecast that Trump is going to beat Kamala Harris by 20 points. This is huge, y'all. And we have Chuck Schumer, who just come out and says, hey, we want to give citizenship to 11 million of those illegal immigrants. Why? So that they can vote. We got your top news story today. Just want to say thank you to all the new members of the channel. It means the world to us that you are going to partner with us as we move towards doing what? We want to make positive change. There's too much crazy news going on. There's too much craziness in this world, and we want to do something with this channel, and you can be a part of that. So we have the membership that's in the chat. That's if you go to the link in the description, and you go to our page, there's the subscribe button, and right next to it is the join button. It's only 99 cents, guys, per month. We want to take that money and do some amazing things with it and give back and do some positive change in this world. So please join us. We have a goal. We want to get to 10,000 members of the channel so that we can change some lives and make a positive impact. Just want to say thank you to all those that have given a super chat donation to the channel. Big Dog, before we even started the video, Big Dog DFW gave a $50 dono. Thank you so much for the support. And thank you to the new members. If you don't mind clicking the thumbs up like button, that really helps to grow the channel. And also, too, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It's free. But let's get into this huge news because I believe this is going to change everything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's get right into it.
Elon Musk are about to make government great again, if that's possible. The former president outlining his economic plan during a speech in NYC, vowing to slash more regulations and push for a Government Efficiency Commission, or GEC. And it's helmed by Musk.
Elon Musk.
At the suggestion of Elon Musk, I will create a Government Efficiency Commission tasked with conducting a complete financial and performance audit of the entire federal government. Elon, because he's not...
Did you hear that? He said the entire federal government.
Very busy, has agreed to head that task force. My plan will rapidly defeat inflation, quickly bring down prices, and reignite explosive economic growth. Kamala Harris will take more money out of American pockets. These are radical left lunatics, and you can't let them run your country.
And while Trump and Musk plot new ways to make government run better, Kamala backers are trashing her capital gains tax plan that would kill American capitalism.
Let's say you're an entrepreneur. You create a company. It gets to 100 million or 200 million on paper. Now, if you're taxing that, you're probably going to force that person to sell it. You really want the entrepreneurs to be forced to sell their companies to larger institutions and to decline in value?
If you tax unrealized gains, you're going to kill the stock market, right? And it's going to be the ultimate employment plan for private equity, because companies are not going to go public because you can get whipsawed, right?
This is
stunning
huge.
Confession from Mark Cuban, Jessica. He is a Kamala supporter, and he claims that this unrealized tax will destroy the stock market, but then he adds it's just a start. Doesn't look good for Kamala, doesn't it?
Isn't this crazy how the very people that have been Kamala Harris, the Democrats' biggest proponents. This is huge. The biggest proponents are actually now saying those are bad policies. If she does that, it's going to hurt America. Let me know your thoughts.
Deal with the biggest problem we're facing, which is the debt. It's
debt.
got to be Musk. That's all he does is tackle big problems.
Well, I would love to hear Donald Trump talk more about that. Like I asked today, like, what are Tim Murtaugh was on. He said the president's going to talk about spending cuts. I said, could you give an example? He said, I'm not going to do it here. Okay, fine, but it's like I would like to hear a little bit more about that. And in Trump's first term, his deregulation agenda really united the entire Republican Party and probably somebody like Ro Khanna, who might not admit it publicly. So I think something like that is really good. Efficiency, Republicans love efficiency. And also independent voters, especially women voters, believe that regulations are something that are causing prices to go up. They're not wrong. So I think a little bit talking more about this is not a bad thing. I do just want to say that her idea on unrealized gains is so bad, it makes the price gouging one look good.
Yeah, so
wow.
true. You know, Judge, Musk, he designs rockets. He built the most successful car company in recent history. He helped change the lives of paralyzed people with these brain chips. And he backs Trump. Shouldn't that be kind of a message to the undecided that, like, the smartest dude in the world thinks Trump is the best choice?
Well, if the undecided were smart, you would think that they would agree with that. But the truth is that most people would, except that when Elon Musk started talking about free speech and it didn't go with the left's agenda, then all of a sudden, irrespective of what he's done for the environment, irrespective of the electric cars, he's really not a good guy. But the bottom line is that neither Trump nor Musk play by the establishment rules. And, you know, when you just look at the waste in our government, they can come up with all these ridiculous ideas. And I think that the unearned tax on the unearned earnings is just the second mess that she's made, along with the price fixing. All right, nothing that she said has been said to be a real success. But at the end of the day, the Department of Defense has failed in the last 6 years. All of their audits. They have a budget of $776 billion, and they can't get through an audit. They don't know where the money goes. And I think it's about time.
And remember, chat, I told y'all, like we reported on this, the government just released data. Every year, they're losing almost $500 billion of our taxpayer dollars. You heard that right. They released data saying that they lost $500 billion, $521 billion. We need to get government back in check.
Businessmen who looked at our government and tried to figure out where the money goes. And, you know, then you bring on RFK, a guy who knows and understands environmental protection and how it can protect us, and Musk. And when you have Mark Cuban saying, you know, that Kamala's idea of the unearned tax credit is going to kill the stock market, and Ro Khanna saying the same thing. Now, these are Democrats. Then you realize it's simply about the numbers, all right? Kamala believes in government control, high interest rate, the cost of living is higher than ever, taxes are higher than ever, border crossings are higher than ever. You can't fake the numbers.
Click here to subscribe.
And that's the craziest part. The facts are the facts. And when we look at the policies, because again, too, I don't care what, like, whenever, because I'm seeing people in the chat, they're like, red, blue. Guys, this is what I love. You see that flag right there? Guess what it's got? It's got red and it's got blue. I want to hear people say America first. I want to hear people say we're going to make government smaller and give people back their taxpayer dollars. And for those that are out there, that's the Republicans who are saying that right now. Let me know your thoughts, because I haven't heard the Democrats say that. And every good idea that Kamala Harris has had, she's copied Trump on it.
Some Russia-connected money to start this media company to recruit conservative influencers, Benny, Tim Pool, and others, to basically get pro-Russia messages out there. They're accusations. That is all they are, from an already corrupted enterprise. Keep that in mind. But I'd be remiss as a former federal agent to not warn people that given these accusations, are other people I'm not accusing anyone specifically. I want to be clear. Are people working with the feds right now to try to ensnare other conservative influencers into this alleged operation?
Everything is alleged.
I'm just going to say this. Be very careful who you're emailing, and be very careful who you're talking to, and be very careful that you're not talking to someone working with the feds on the other end of the line. You know, what's interesting is when PP hoaxers who were higher up officials in the DOJ when they were spying on Donald Trump, when they inadvertently say the quiet part out loud. Here's an Andrew Weissman tweet. If you think I'm crazy, by the way, that you better be careful who you're talking to on the phone or anyone else. Here's Andrew Weissman, the Bob Mueller guy. He was Bob Mueller's chief lieutenant. This guy is one of the biggest Russia PP tape hoaxers out there. He tweeted this out last night.
Check this out.
The new DOJ charging documents raise a curious question. DOJ charges 2 lower-level employees of a Russia front company, but despite providing chapter and verse about the complicity of the 2 founders of that company, the founders are not charged. My suspicion, based on DOJ experience, is the founders were charged a while ago under seal and flipped, i.e. are cooperating with the U.S. government. Now, you may say, why would Andrew Weissman write that? He's not trying to help you, folks. This guy hates you. He's trying to, again, confer to his audience that the Russiagate thing is real by saying, look, they got these people on the inside, the feds working to undercover this big network. What he doesn't realize is he's inadvertently saying that this may be a Fed op and may have been a federal government op the whole time. Who's over there? Justin, is this making sense? This whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I told you be very careful. These are accusations from a corrupt federal government and allegations only. I would not be the least bit surprised if this entire thing was in fact started by the federal government in an effort to rope in conservatives, not an investigation that caught conservatives.
Remember, this is what he's talking about. Remember, the DOJ has just said that the three of the top conservative voices out there have been essentially working with Russia. And what he's saying is like, look, I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe this all started with the government.
Don't know. It's early, and I'm applying the Bongino rule, but I'm begging you to please give these people their due process and the benefit of the doubt until this corrupt federal government can produce actual hard evidence, and we see it from a trusted source, and it's not Lisa Monaco, Merrick Garland, and Christopher Wray. You can't trust a single thing these people say.
Wow.
Top 2 takeaways. This is definitely a plot to tar every conservative voice out there with the Russia label. 100%.
Hey, everybody, let me know. Is True Life a conservative channel? Are we considered conservative now? Because you know what I want to be considered? America first. That's what I want to be considered.
2, are people working with the federal government, and was this a Fed op from the start? Those are the 2 biggest takeaways. I want to make 3 more subordinate points, almost as important. Folks, if this was an operation to help Donald Trump, which I don't believe it was.
No.
Wait, now you're getting confusing, Dan. You don't think this was? No, I don't. I think this was an operation to sow chaos. I think the feds so eager, the corrupt federal government, to create a new Russia hoax, actually, I can't believe I'm saying this.
Yeah, because remember, in 2016, what was it? Russia collusion, Trump. In 2020, what was it? Hunter Biden laptop, Russian disinformation. It was, I mean, look, if history tells us anything, it was bound to happen.
Took Vladimir Putin's bait. I'm almost sure of it. You think these people are stupid dangling this Russian money? Did you see the pitch deck they put out to some of these conservative influencers, it's like, go to Cernovich's feed. Read it's written in like third grade language. I believe this was a baiting operation. Vladimir Putin does not care who wins. Vladimir Putin cares about what?
Chaos.
Us losing.
Yeah.
Us, you mean conservatives? No, I mean us, meaning the United States.
Wow.
Vladimir Putin cares about one thing and one thing only: chaos. And what happened? The federal government took the bait, ran with this story. Putin knows they're going to do it because the Democrats need a Russia hoax for the media. Is everybody following me? I hope I'm not confusing here.
This is
Vladimir
so
Putin knows
insane.
the Democrats, liberals are dumb as a box of rocks. He knows the left-wing media is dying to run a story about how conservatives are in the pocket of Putin. He knows that will cause national division and people not to trust elections and violence in the streets after the election. That's all the stuff he wants. That's what Putin wants. He dangles this thing out there, this Russia media company thing. Of course, the feds bite on it. They run with it, rope in some conservative influencers who, didn't do due diligence against it, right? Whatever. Allegations. But he did not want Donald Trump.
Wow.
He wants chaos. Here, I'll prove it to you. Here's Vladimir Putin in an interview he just gave, perfectly timed, right with this indictment, where he gives his endorsement for the election. I thought he loved Donald Trump.
That if we can name a favorite candidate, it used to be Joe Biden, but now he's not participating in the election campaign, and he recommended to all his allies to support Ms. Harris. So that is what we are going to do.
Wow.
Wait. This crew is weak. I told you to play the Putin video where he endorses Trump. That's couldn't find him. Why couldn't you find it? Because it's not.
It doesn't exist.
Must have just clicked the wrong video, Michael said. He's like, I'm new here. I've only been here 6 months or so. That is generous, right? Maybe 4.
I'm telling you, like, the more and more stuff that is coming out and the more and more that we're seeing, like, guys, who would have thought that just, 66, 67 days before the election, we have another Russian hoax? We have another Russian collusion. Now it's the conservative voices. Like, and this is nuts. Like, the more and more that we get closer to the election, the more and more crazy stuff happens. And remember,
Young people.
Trump's about to be sentenced in, 13 days. Trump's going to be sentenced on my birthday, September 18th. Just imagine if they try to send him to jail. But you know what? That's not stopping him. Because I love what he came out today and said, that he said he wants to reduce regulation and he wants to help people get into homes. Check this out.
People will be able to buy a home again and be a part of the American dream. We will eliminate regulations that drive up housing costs with the goal of cutting the cost of a new home in half. We think we can do that. The regulations alone cost 30%. Regulation costs 30% of a new home. And we will open up portions of federal land for large-scale housing construction. These zones will be ultra-low tax and ultra-low regulation. One of the great, really small business job creation programs it will be of all time. We're going to open up our country to building homes inexpensively so young people and other people can buy homes. You can't buy them anymore.
A lot of people have said, like, why do we have such a housing crisis? Well, think about it like this. I don't know if you've known, but if you go and Google this right now, I love this because this is what I love showing you. I love showing you the real data. If you go and Google right now and look at the population, where it's at, where things are going, look at this. Just say the population growth of the United States is going down. So then you say, well, why don't we have enough houses? Well, we have let in how many? 11 plus million on the low side people. They got to live somewhere. They're going to go buy a house or they're going to go rent a house or something like that. I'm telling you, a lot of the illegal immigrants has what's driven up housing cost.
Millions of Americans will take part in setting these safe and beautiful communities, reviving the frontier spirit, and really, as I said, reviving the American dream. It's about the American dream. It's all about the American dream. We don't talk about American dream with these people in office. They don't want to talk about the American dream because they're the exact opposite. They're the exact opposite. We also cannot ignore the impact that the flood of 21 million illegal aliens has had on driving up housing costs. That's why my plan will ban mortgages for illegal aliens in California.
Wow.
They're passing a law where they're going to give illegal aliens money to buy a house.
Did you hear that? So right now in California, Oregon, they're literally giving them taxpayer dollars to go buy houses. Donald Trump just said he's going to make a law that bans illegal immigrants from buying houses in the United States. Let me know your thoughts on that.
But our soldiers, our veterans that are laying on the streets, they can't have them.
Wow.
You have soldiers right now laying on the streets of different cities, all Democrat run. They're laying on the streets in front of hotels, in some cases luxury hotels, and you have illegal immigrants coming in and living in those hotels and laughing at our soldiers as they walk by into a luxury lobby.
Wow.
Is there something wrong with that thinking? Is there something wrong with our country? If Kamala is allowed to continue to let our country be invaded, we will face a fiscal Armageddon. These migrants are consuming hundreds of billions of dollars in benefits.
Yes, they are. Like, I'm telling you, this is the crazy thing. As crazy it is to say what I'm about to say, that literally, whenever these legal migrants come in, what do? They automatically are given forms to get taxpayer benefits, welfare, housing assistance, food stamps. They get cell phones because that's how they used to track them. That's what they say. So they give them free cell phones. They give them free internet. They give them cash debit cards. Like, this is literally happening with taxpayer dollars, and that's why we need a change. But what I love is what you're about to see next. Check it out. It's accountability.
All right, so Harris made her economic pitch in New Hampshire, a sign the state is still in play for either side. That is the question to Republican New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu. Governor, good to see you. It's been a little while since you and I have caught up. So you'll have to tell me where you stand on things. Whose plan are you liking, and what really speaks to you in your state? What will work with voters there?
So again, when we talk about the voters, we're talking about that 8 to 10% of swing voters, right? Those are the ones that are still up for play and probably will be through October. It's not the economy, it's cost of living.
Yes.
And those voters are going to be swayed by who is the change agent, right? Who is the individual? Is it Kamala Harris or is it Donald Trump that'll be an agent of change to make my life more affordable? It's not about the number of jobs that are created. People have jobs. They just want things to be affordable again.
Yes.
And that's it. And between now and November 5th, the rent comes due, right, on the 1st. The credit card bills keep coming in. The energy bills the electric bills keep coming in. There's a lot of costs American families are going to have, and that's the anxiety, right? Anxiety is what drives someone to go to the voting booth and ask for change. And Americans still have a lot of anxiety, especially with an impending recession, which is very real. And there's no question Donald Trump is always going to be more trusted as someone that's been on the front lines in business, can actually speak to details. Through all the personality challenges that a lot of us know and accept that he has, it's results that people want. Only new results are going to bring the change to kind of lower the temperature in their families and give them more economic freedom. And that's what it's about, not the global economy at 30,000 feet. You can talk about tariffs and all that kind of stuff. It's just who is going to make my life more affordable.
Yeah. And former President Donald Trump, to Charlie's point earlier, he laid out a very detailed message today, not just about his own economic plan, but about Kamala Harris's, in fact, about what we've heard so far and what has been leaked so far. So in your state, Kamala Harris, during this campaign stop this week, Governor, she laid out this plan to expand the tax incentives for small businesses, okay? This would appear to be a pro-entrepreneurial plan. And does it show that she's softening sort of these attacks on on wealthy Americans and big corporations that they need to pay their fair share, that they need to pay more, Governor. Does it appear she's sort of walking back that stance right now?
Oh, she's walking it back. Again, I think, I think everyone's right. I don't think she understands a lot of this when it comes to the economy, how things work, what a lot of the things that her team has proposed. When she came out aggressively and said price controls, that scared everybody because actually that plays into the hands of large businesses. That destroys young businesses, startups, entrepreneurship, folks that want to compete in bigger markets. That absolutely crushes that. And that's what she proposed, and that's what she stands by. And so she's having to pivot purely for political reasons, not for anything else. Now, at the end of the day, what she's proposing, it sounds fine. It's more moderate, but that's not going to change people's minds. The fact is she's been there. She's been the agent of this large inflationary surge that has crushed families, and she can't get away from that as much as she's going to want to try over the next 60 days. The honeymoon's over, right? August was a great honeymoon period for Kamala Harris, but guess what? You're home, you're back to work, and people are demanding accountability with their leadership, and she's not going to be able to have it. I think the debate, as we all agree, is going to be absolutely pivotal. Not just who has the better plan, but who comes off as more competent, who can kind of hold their own, show the professionalism, show a sense of leadership for the country. My sense is they are scared, right? Because
I'm sorry.
Going to get into these circular arguments of gobbledygook and God knows what she's going to say. I think her team has done her a massive disservice, right? You get better at a debate. You get better at asking questions when you interact with the press, when you get the feedback, when you feel more confident on your toes.
Too,
but her
right?
team has effectively told her.
Yeah, no. And perhaps that would help.
Think about it like this. Right now, the score and the tally is J.D. Vance, Trump, I think 37 interviews and press conferences. Tim Walz and Kamala Harris, 1. If that tells you anything, what they're trying to hide, let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Her with her understanding of all this, right? If she had to answer those tough questions, let me get back to you on that. Where do you think we need to be on that? So, Governor, I'm thinking perhaps there's news to be made here. I mean, based on everything you're saying, and I look back at the history of your state, going back to 2000 and the last time a Republican won that state, can Donald Trump pull off victory there based on what you're saying?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Look, remember, Trump only lost New Hampshire by 2,000 votes in 2016, and this election is going to look a lot more like that one. We've got a great Republican ticket even below Donald Trump down the ballot, so you're going to get a strong turnout on the Republican side. The Democrat candidates statewide are awful. Nobody's excited about Kamala. I mean, nobody is. They're kind of tolerating it. But at the end of the day, this is a state where results matter. Government has to deliver, or we get you out of there. I mean, there's real accountability in the system,
so one last
and she hasn't delivered.
Do you believe that he can pull off a wider margin of victory even than he lost by that you're describing there?
Oh, yeah. No, he could. I mean, it'll be close. It's always close, but it'll be within 1 or 2%. But yeah, my guess is he wins by 1.5%. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me tell you this. There's actually, this has just popped off on X today. So if you don't know this guy, his name is Grant Cardone. He's a big entrepreneur, billionaire, like built himself up from the ground to be a billionaire, really gives back to God and things like that. Like he's very, I like him. He's a great guy. Well, his company is trying to do ads for Donald Trump, right? Watch this. This is messed up. This is crazy what you're about to see. Check it out. Oh, come on. Why are they always buffering with me? Come on. Let me refresh.
Election interference is real. And if you guys don't think election interference is real in 2024, I want you to watch this video. So we run a campaign and we're showing our viewers what they're going to get when they go to 10X Studios. The ad got flagged as ineligible. Said you cannot run this ad. It doesn't fit our campaign. So we went back and we looked at and said, oh, it's a picture of Donald Trump in there. Let's take him out and replace that image with Miss Harris. And I'm being polite when I say Miss Harris. We then sent it back to Google. We just simply replaced the Trump thumbnail with a thumbnail of her and a new title, and they approved it. Election interference, Google, you guys are nasty people.
Can you believe that? So he didn't say it too, but I saw it in there. So they changed, the title was about Trump, saying Trump, you know, running for election, this and that, and it got flagged. They wouldn't put it up. But then they changed it to Kamala Harris, and then they put the title with Kamala Harris' name in there, and it got approved. That's messed up. Like, we should be able, again, too, these big companies, it's so crazy how much they actually are interfering. Think about it. Amazon with the Alexa, Facebook and Meta with the picture whenever Donald Trump almost got shot. Think about it with in the past, Instagram, all these things. Google, whenever you would search for Donald Trump, it would pop up Kamala Harris results. But I'm telling you this, the plan has been there all along. The Democrats are trying to pull in the 11 plus million illegal immigrants to make them citizens to try to win the election. Don't believe me? Watch the Speaker of the Senate. Literally says that. Check it out.
The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate goal is to help the dreamers, but get a path to citizenship for all 11 million or however many undocumented there are here.
You see that? We got to give them a path to citizenship. All 11 plus million. So you mean to tell me, like, he's like literally acknowledging that the Democrats let all these 11 million in of these illegal migrants. But you know what? That's okay, because I feel like the truth is coming out. Check this out. If you don't know who this is, Nate Silver, one of the most renowned pollsters out there. They did this for the 2024 election with 40,000 simulations. Look at Trump versus Harris right now. That's literally a 20-point lead. More than 20. This is nuts. I'm happy. I'm glad about it because I feel like the team that Trump is putting together is going to put America back on track. Why? And I love this. What you're about to see, RFK Jr. is helping to bring independence over, and this is a big deal. Listen to what he has to say when he goes through this interview.
Why wasn't it a better move to stay neutral and command the attention of both sides as long as you could for the duration of this campaign?
Well, it became clear to me, Chris, that I was not going to be allowed on the debating stage, which was really my only path to victory. I was already being boycotted by all of the mainstream media, by the liberal media. When Ross Perot ran, in 10 months that he was running for president, he had 34 appearance interviews on mainstream media. In 17 months, I had only 2 live interviews on ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, and MSNBC. So I couldn't reach that audience. I had no way to grow. And our polling was showing that if I stayed in the race, Vice President Harris would win. And I did not want that outcome. I don't think I don't think that Vice President Harris is a worthy president of this country. I think we need to have a president who can give an interview, who can articulate a vision,
yes,
who can put together an English sentence, who can articulate her and defend her policies and her record, and who can engage in a debate and regular debates, unscripted appearances. Vice President Harris's speech at the convention made it very clear that she will continue the warfare state, that she is she's bragging about how she sees warfare as a tool, as the frontline tool of American foreign policy. This is a catastrophe for our country. We've got to unravel the warfare.
You think Trump would...
He says, do you think Trump would do better? Yeah. Are you kidding me? This dude, we didn't have no new wars whenever Trump was in office. No new wars. As soon as Biden gets in office, Hamas attacks Israel, Iran gets into it. Then you got Russia who invades in Ukraine. Then you got China China who's wanting to invade Taiwan. Of course, Trump would be so much better. But I'm telling you this, the more and more this stuff comes out, with this new debate that's going to be happening, I think this is going to be the end of the Kamala Harris campaign. And I also think that it's going to create a landslide win for Trump. Let me know your thoughts. Check this out.
And the camp counselors are tormenting her. For the last 5 days and nights, Harris will be locked down in a cabin in Pittsburgh. Insiders say her prep will be akin to Biden's week-long session at Camp David. Full-out mock debates, but they'll start earlier than Biden's, and there will be fewer naps. She'll have no breaks. Harris has to hold it. Back-to-back 90-minute mock sessions with no interruption. The Clintons are telling her what to say. Watch.
My hero, my pal, my former boss, Bill Clinton, had it right at the convention. Don't count the lies, count the eyes. The back half of Kamala's answer to you is right. Yes, he's a fighter, but he fights for himself. It should be one of the through lines in this debate for Kamala Harris is, I'm for the people, Trump's for himself.
Yeah, she's for the people, just not the American people.
What?
They're even assigning Harris homework, but they're already running into problems. Kamala keeps wanting to talk through all of the policies with her handlers, and her handlers are saying, no, Kamala, here's the briefing binder. You study it, then we'll do the mock debate. We're not going to spend hours telling you what your policies are. You're going to have to read the binder. We're hearing that Harris has been poring over briefing binders for 2 months because she's just learning for the first time what her policies are. And now insiders say she's careening sideways. Kamala has been derailing her prep by focusing too narrowly on minute details, according to 2 people behind the scenes. Kamala is having a hard time learning what happened the last 4 years. And this debate's not going to be about her favorite topics like electric school buses and outer space. She's like the girl who skipped class all semester and then pulls an all-nighter before the final. Democrats already lowering expectations. After ABC confirmed the mics will be muted, the Harris campaign's whining.
I think what's really challenging and unfortunate about this debate format is that it limits the vice president's ability to prosecute the political case against President Trump.
She's complaining that she's at a disadvantage because Trump won't be able to interrupt her.
Wow.
Remember what she pulled with Pence?
Joe Biden has been very clear. He will not raise taxes on anybody who makes less than $400,000 a year.
He said he's going to repeal the Trump tax cuts.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
Look, I don't know about y'all, but when she said that and that smile that she had, that just made me want to 100% Karen.
I have to
I'm speaking. Yes, Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Okay.
Okay. Kamala wants to snap her fingers and say, excuse me, don't you dare speak to me like that. I don't care who you are. Kamala wants to be a Karen.
You know, I'm telling you what, if Trump interrupted her, I think she would be like, I'm speaking, and try to make herself a victim that Trump was talking over her. That's why they wanted the mics to be open mic'd. Let me know your thoughts.
But the muted mics that her old man Biden agreed to won't let her. It's like Joe's still sabotaging the Democrats from the grave. But the muted mics was just one of Kamala's demands. Her handlers have been trying to micromanage next Tuesday night like helicopter parents at a play date.
Did they ask for notes? Did they ask for the...
They wanted notes.
They wanted to be seated, and they wanted your mic hot.
And they wanted a desk. They didn't want to do... I said, you got to do a stand-up.
After they already agreed to the other.
Yeah, but they wanted a desk from the beginning. You know who else wanted a desk? Sleepy Joe. He wanted a desk.
Last night would have been the Fox debate, but Kamala chickened out. She's only committing to one debate.
I don't know about y'all, but I honestly think that that you shouldn't be able to run for president if you can't at least do 3 debates. Like, she chickened out. She didn't want to do the debate with Fox. She doesn't want to do the debate with NBC. They're literally, can you believe this? In 2024, we don't have no pandemic. There's no virus going around. But that their team can't even commit to 3 debates. It's only 1. It's literally pathetic. That's my thoughts.
The first potential female president will only do 1 debate. Even the Clintons are saying, you got to be kidding me. Ready? 1 interview, 1 debate, some rah-rah stump speech you read over and over, and voila, you have a 50% chance of being president. Good gig if you can get it. No 3 debates, no 2 years of primaries, coalition building, no detailed policy development, and no daily press briefings or tests of leadership. It's only the most important job in the world with a $6 trillion budget and thousands of nuclear weapons. The right thing would be 3 debates, real detailed policy briefings, and full availability to answer questions so the electorate could vote on an informed basis.
Wow.
That's what real democracy demands.
Wow.
But Kamala's not the only one complaining. Trump's playing the expectation game, too, and working the refs.
They are the most dishonest network, the meanest, the nastiest, but that was what I was presented with. I was presented with ABC, George Slopadopoulos, you know who he is. And he's a nasty guy. And yet, he's a nasty guy. I've had him up to here. But let me tell you, he's a very, very bad kind of a guy. And I think a lot of people are going to be watching to see how nasty they are, how unfair they are. I agreed to do it because they wouldn't do any other network. The other thing is, her best friend is the head of the network.
Wow.
Her husband's best friend is married to the head of the network. And they're going to get the questions. I've already heard they're going to get the questions in advance.
If the moderators and the media won't ask Harris the hard questions, Trump has to do it himself.
Yes.
She's going to come in with rehearsed punchlines, no, you didn't. But Trump can derail the whole production by turning to her directly and saying, the moderators and the media won't ask you this question, so I will. What exactly do you disagree with about Joe Biden's economic policy? Or, I handed you inflation at 1.9% and it went to 9%. Mm-hmm. What happened there? Or, Kamala, you say you want to do all these things. Well, you're in power now. Why haven't you done any of them? Or, Madam Vice President, you said you'd tell us if Joe Biden was declining. Why didn't you keep your word?
Ooh.
Or, Ms. Harris, you were for this, now you're for that. Why should the American people trust anything you say? It's a 1-2 punch because it embarrasses the moderators for not doing their jobs, and it puts Harris back on her heels. He has to define her because no one else will. And this debate could be the only opportunity he has because she's only committed to this one. There's two risks to Trump next Tuesday. One is Kamala chews up time with her slow, syrupy delivery, eating up the clock with vague platitudes, values, vibes, blah, 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 a couple of head turns and some eye rolls, and she can escape scrutiny. So Trump has to pin her down on specifics without being disrespectful, and that's his second risk. He could be sharp with Hillary because she projected toughness and was hated for years. Kamala's unknown and more feminine, so Trump can be aggressive, not argumentative. Trust me. Debating with a woman, and I do it all the time on the 5 with Jessica, is an art that I have yet to perfect. If Trump performs well, race is over. But if Kamala holds her own or has a few moments, she's back in the driver's seat and will avoid another debate. As of now, she's lost her momentum because the manufactured enthusiasm evaporated once voters evaluated her without the pomp and pageantry. The more voters see Kamala, the less they like.
That is
true. The campaign's spending more time bussing people into her rallies than telling us what she actually believes in.
They literally they sent 12 buses of these buses from another place to the town that she was actually doing the campaign in because they couldn't get nobody to go to her actual campaign rally. That's pretty sad.
This was in New Hampshire just yesterday. A state, by the way, that hasn't gone red in 24 years. Kamala was there for some reason. She's so unpopular that she had to bus people in. She peaked, and now her support's fading. Democrat numbers guru Nate Silver every day puts out an election forecast, and for a week straight, Trump's odds of winning have gone up. He now has a 60% chance of winning this election.
Wow, that's
And this
huge.
is a synthesis of all the polls. See this trend? Besides her race, age, and gender, she hasn't explained why she's that different than Biden. Let's not pretend like we don't know what her plans will be if she's elected. We do. We lived it. It's scary.
Listening to her talk about her tax policy, I mean, she's like, see, Joe Biden's tax policy is only going to kill you as much as, Jason Voorhees, but I'm more like Mike Myers. See, isn't that better? No, it's not better. They're both scary as hell, and either way, you're going to be dead.
Kamala's not looking out for you. She's just focused on getting the job, not doing the job.
Ooh.
If Kamala could do the job, she would have done it. on the border and on the economy.
That's true.
Trump already knows how to do the job. He did it for how long?
For 4 straight years, I fought for American workers like I would fight for my own family. I took care of our economy like I would take care of my own company. In every decision I asked, will I create jobs here or will I be sending jobs overseas? Will it make America richer and stronger or will it make our country weaker and poorer? I always put America first every single time.
Democrats love to talk about lived experiences. Well, we've lived
through that. We lived through it with Trump. Trump did a great job. I think it's going to be so much more effective, though, this time around. He's got Elon Musk on his side. He's got RFK Jr. on his side. We got the dream team. Vivek Ramaswamy. I mean, I'm telling you what, I am so excited. I cannot wait. I hope that he wins. I hope that they can pull this off because to me, we would be so much better for it. And I think it would be very, very positive for every American out there, big time. Just want to say thank you to everybody that's watching. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And if you don't mind clicking the thumbs up like button. And also, too, to thank everybody for joining the community. Remember, the link is in the description. If we want to grow this to a huge 10,000 people community, and we want to take the money that we get from that and go do some positive things in this world. We want to video it, put all those videos here on True Life, because here on this channel, we are bringing the truth. We bring it from all different angles, from Fox, from CNN, from X, that used to be called Twitter. We bring it from everywhere. But I feel like there's so much craziness going on in this world. We can 100% bring a positive aspect. And that's why we have the membership now at 99 cents. It's literally less than $1 per month to join this community. Go to the link in the description and please join because we want to make a big difference in this world in a positive way. And we want you to be a part of that. That this channel is going to do something big. And I love it. I love how many people have already joined. But we've got a big goal. We want to get to 10,000. Just want to say thank you to everybody that gives a super chat donation. We love you. We thank you for supporting us. And we just want to continue to serve you every day with the top news. Y'all have a wonderful time. And we'll see you in the next one. Take